Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Gemini and Sagittarius on Wednesdays. But I do just want to let you guys know that the deck that I'm using today is called the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. So with all that being said, I do just want to talk a little bit more about how I shuffle my cards. So just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them. However, I usually only take cards that jump out of the deck like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back in and continue shuffling. But my main goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. All right, Sagittarius, so we currently have 5 cards. I'm going to keep shuffling so we can get roughly 3 or 4 more cards, and then we can get started. All right, we had one card that fell, but just a channeled message that's coming through right now as I'm shuffling. I'm getting very strongly, everything happens for a reason. So it feels like even if something is happening to where it makes you feel like this is only a bad thing and this couldn't possibly benefit me in any way, shape, or form, it will in like a really weird roundabout way. But do know that everything that happens, you know, here moving forward is for your higher good. And I feel like if you kind of get into that mindset, it'll make whatever energy I'm getting a lot of healing. It'll make that process go a lot faster because you're working with the energy. So I do just want to say that your overall energy here is the 9 of Pentacles. And before we get started on your reading, I do want to remind you guys that the best way to let me know if these readings resonate with you guys or if you just like them is by leaving a like or a comment. But with the 9 of Pentacles, I'm getting that you guys are going to, for one, become a little bit more financially stable if you weren't already, because the 9 of Pentacles, it talks about this independence card. So because it's a Pentacles card, it talks, you know, about that physical material stability. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, it might also be the fact that you are becoming stable in other areas as well, such as like your emotional or maybe even mental state, right? And what I mean by that is like a lot of you guys are probably releasing a lot of stress. Situations are changing in a way that makes them more conductive to harmonious aspects instead of these sort of stressful, hard energies that you might have been dealing with earlier. Either way, all of that coupled together is going to make you feel very whole as a person, right? Because that's what the 9 of Pentacles represents. It represents being 100% ready in your life alone so that you're able to take the next step and share your 10th Pentacle with someone else, right? If that makes sense. But I do want to talk about the fact that you guys have a lot of Pentacle energy, right? So you have the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and first of all, that's 3 pentacles right there. But then you also have the Devil and the Hierophant, which represent Taurus and Capricorn. So the Hierophant is Taurus and the Devil is Capricorn. So altogether, 5 of your 9 cards here are grounding energies, earthly energies. So I think that now is a time for grounding. I think that just like putting your feet on the grass will help you ground a lot more. It'll make you feel a lot more stable, and like you can take on the things that are coming on. But either way, there's a very interesting combination here with the Hierophant and the Eight of Cups. So whenever I see a combination like this, I know that there is this energy of you having to forge your own path, because the Hierophant is, maintaining its tradition. It's like the kind of energy where it's like, I am a carpenter because my father was a carpenter, and my father's father was a carpenter, and my father's 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 carpenter father, right? And like you can trace it all the way back to like the beginning of carpentry. And I feel like it's nice to have a legacy, it's nice to have tradition, but you might not be in a place where it really fits you all that well. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with taking a step out of here and really trying out something new for you. And I'm getting that for some of you guys, like it's not necessarily a family tradition. I mentioned carpentry, so for some of you guys it might actually be a work tradition, right? Like there might be something to like the effect of like a competition or a celebration or a party or something where there's like a tradition or whatever, or like people that work in this department do this, something like that. And I feel like this is here to tell you like there's nothing wrong with breaking tradition a little bit, making adaptations, taking the energy that you're dealt with and using it in the most conductive ways possible, because it's very interesting here that we have this energy of the Devil card with the Queen of Pentacles. And I think that the Devil card is kind of become this energy that's resistant to change, because first of all of this earth energy is slow moving. The Pentacles are the slowest moving cards in the deck, and with this Devil energy, right, we have this energy of being tied down. It's always so fascinating to see how the Devil card is depicted, because there's so many elements that the Devil card can represent, right? It can represent hypersexuality, vices, sinister energy, or obsessions, or just all around unhealthy behavior, drugs. But in this particular case, it's representing this feeling of being tied, this feeling of being chained down by something. And I feel like there's sort of this burden of maintaining things the way they are and not really changing, because that's what the Pentacles do. They're stable, right? They have longevity. They maintain. Like a Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and it's one of the most effective signs at maintaining something, right? Because you have that fixed energy with that Pentacle energy. But then we have here this Ace of Pentacles in reverse with this Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a card about resting. So I think that if you guys have any kind of doubt in your mind, take a step back and rest. Put that idea on the back burner and just let it do its thing, and then you'll have a eureka moment where it just kind of comes to you. Because with the Four of Swords, I feel like it's time for you to really take a nap on the situation and allow it to do its own thing. Because if you look here, this man is playing dead almost, it looks like, so these wolves will leave him alone. And I know that that's a weird way of describing it, especially since like the wolves would probably just eat him. But it feels like that's the right thing to do in the situation, regardless of what it looks like from the outside. So even if you're like dealing with something where it's like a little bit time sensitive, if you have a little bit of time to spare, definitely take it to think and take it to rest. Because I feel like that's very important here, because if you don't sort of take this time to rest, you're going to miss out on this Ace of Pentacles energy. It's going to be a missed opportunity, right? And even looking forward, we have the Star card, which is a wish fulfillment, but it's in reverse. So it feels like there's a missed opportunity here if you don't slow down a little bit instead of like running through everything. Like you don't have to have an answer immediately. it's okay to sort of deliberate on things a little bit and try to come up with the best possible answer. And then we have the Eight of Swords, which is even further confirmation of the energy that I was talking about earlier here with the Devil card, which is this energy of, also I looked at the timer on the video and it was at 10:10, so that's a synchronicity for a lot of you guys that you might be experiencing. But like I was saying with the the Eight of Swords is this energy of feeling trapped and not being able to see the answers that lie in front of you because this man is being blindfolded. So even if you know, okay, what I'm trying to say here is that he's able to escape, right? There's all these swords around him that he can use to change, or rather to cut all the ties that he has, all the rope that he has that's tying him up, but because he has that blindfold, he's unable to see it. So I'm getting here that there's maybe this like blindness due to tradition. It's like, I've only ever known this. This is what I have to do. Why would I even consider other options? Right? And like, that's very interesting to me because Sagittarians are all about gathering information. They're all about new experiences. So it feels like there's something that might be being forced on you. And if it doesn't feel right, then it's not right. And, or at least not right for you, right? But either way, take your time, rest on whatever it is that's confusing you or bothering you, and then you'll see good results coming forth. So, Sagittarius, that was your reading first time around. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Sagittarius videos on Wednesday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.